So if technology is everywhere, isn't that also fantastic? I mean, isn't there also huge upside of all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. But you know, it can look pretty grim. I mean, I grew up as part of you know, a culture. You know, a cyber culture that was very optimistic about the technologies, that basically believed that these technologies were going to be liberating. At the very beginning, we had no idea that this would be the most powerful surveillance technology in human history that was being created. So that, you know, there is this dichotomy, this dialectic, right? And both things are going on at the same time. But I'm not entirely pessimistic. I mean, clearly, you know, these technologies as intellectual tools have really changed, you know, human natures in a positive way, are changing human nature. I mean, I'm not just talking about society. I'm talking about information technology, you know, spreading through the biological sciences, and you know, biology becomes an information science to the point where we can redefine what is human. That's you know, that's frightening, obviously. I worry a lot about the blurring of the lines between computer networks and humans, because I think our individuality and our humanity is defined by these, you know, the fact that you and I are separate. One of the things that I worry most about right now is there is a generation of robotics being developed, cloud robotics it's called, and in those systems, when one robot learns something, all of them know it instantly. And you know, if you grow up in a science fiction world, you know about Star Trek and the Borg. Resistance is futile, you will be assimilated. That's a world, if you think about you know, the implications of sort of everyone being connected and computing by computers, powerful computers, you begin to worry about a society where our individuality gets subsumed by this new metastructure that's being created in a real way, in an absolute real way. I mean, already, I mean, I'm sure it's true in Europe as well, but you see 30% of the people walking down the street in San Francisco are looking at the palm of their hand. And you have a generation of young people who are willing to make life decisions based on algorithms they know nothing about, whether it's ordering where to get their Korean barbecue or who to marry. There are algorithms that are surrounding them now that are offering them advice in the most subtle ways for, you know, we don't really understand the motives of the algorithms or the motives of the designers of the algorithms frequently. And oftentimes they're not acting in our interests. But it's created a culture that's really quite profoundly different than my culture. I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and we were kind of cranky. We didn't like to take instructions from anybody. We were an independent culture, or more so than this one, I think. And so that's something that I'm watching very carefully.